Some of you may remember Yeison Lopez, the next big thing out of Colombia, the new Lu Xiaojun they called him. 11 straight international wins from 2015 to 2021, youth world champion and world record holder, junior world champion and world record holder. He was unstoppable, exciting, a freak athlete, once in a generation vibes. A 17-year-old squatting 280 kilos at 77 kilos in body weight, a 208 kilo clean and jerk. And then, at the end of 2017, nothing. Gone. Absent from competition for 4 years. When Yeison returned in 2021, his competition results were a tad more meagre. Sure, he was winning, but with several years unable to compete and not really even training, he wasn't where we had imagined. Still stronger than the other juniors, but he'd emerged in an era of change. The 89 kilo category, to which he had now moved, was becoming dominated by new athletes. Carlos Nassar, Li Dayin, Tian Tao, Antonino Pizzolato, Kedemar Vayanir. For a couple of years, his numbers progressed slowly, but he was no longer winning. And then he turned up to Doha, to the Qatar Cup. There were rumours I'd heard come down from those at the highest levels in the sport that Lopez was back, that despite Colombia's exceptional 89 kilo Brainrod Legas being one of the best in the world, Yeison Lopez would outlift him and would solidify himself as a soon-to-be Olympian. But he wasn't even in the top 10. He was way out of Olympic contention. And then I saw him training. Just one training session with his training partner, Jonathan Rivas, another talent from Colombia. Jonathan helped translate conversations between me and Yeison, who, despite his swagger on the platform and seeming confidence, was actually a head-down, keep-to-himself kind of guy. But watching him lift, we began to work it out. We could tell that this was the Yeison Lopez of old. The way he muscle snatched 100 kilos, the jumps he was making, and then that first snatch at 160 kilos. That was one of the crispest 160s anyone's ever made. But still, we didn't know. 160 is cool, but the world record is 180 kilos by Li Dayin. Come competition day, and we were focused predominantly on other athletes because, well, why wouldn't we be? We didn't know. He opened at 170 kilos, but we were still in the back room filming other athletes. His 175 kilo second attempt gave him the gold. And then, he loaded 180 kilos, enough to equal Li Dayin's world record. The full backroom and competition video with Carlos Nassar, Antonino Pizzolato, Kedemar Vayanir and others will be up at Weightlifting House TV, which is coming soon at some point in the future. 2 days earlier, again, watching Yeison Lopez training, and we were totally ignorant to what he might do. A 180 kilo snatch would have been entirely out of the question if you'd asked me. He built up and looked very strong. 70, 120, 155, 175, everything looked smooth. What we didn't know was that this session was him hitting what would be his final warm-up attempt on the day of the competition. 160 kilos in the snatch was hit in the back room before a 170 kilo opener. And here, a 195 kilo clean and jerk was what he wanted prior to a 202 kilo opener. Both singles looked great. Remember, prior to this competition, Yeison wasn't even ranked as an 89 kilo lifter yet, let alone a top 10. To get into the top 10, he'd need to total 371 kilos, equaling his best ever performance. And there were other athletes competing who needed to get in the top 10 also. Antonino Pizzolatto. But to put it into context, the top two lifters in the category, Li Dayin and Carlos Nassar, had totaled 396 and 395 kilos respectively. They were running away from the rest, with 10 kilos separating them from third, with a steep drop-off thereafter. But Yeison Lopez smoked his lifts. 202 got him way up into the top 10. 206 kilos put him in third above the likes of Kedemar. And then, on his final attempt, 210 kilos, he became the third 89 kilo lifter in the world to total 390 kilos. Yeison Lopez is back.